The question for today is, will the outcome of the current lawsuits tell us if Tylenol is causing autism? When thinking about this question, as a scientist I've been working on this question for does Tylenol cause autism for almost a decade. I did background research that led up to this work for more than a decade. So you're looking at 25 years of work in the related field and then directly on this particular question. And the answer is absolutely, positively not. The lawsuits are completely different than the scientific question. And one of the biggest issues is that the lawsuits only deal with exposure during pregnancy. So we know from a scientific perspective that the biggest risk happens when you cut that umbilical cord and the baby is then free from the mother. The baby doesn't have the mother's liver there. The baby only has the baby liver. And for example, just what's in the cord blood, which means what's left over inside the baby, is hard for that baby to process, where the mother is going to go ahead and process it fine, but you cut the umbilical cord. So if the mother took acetaminophen, then the baby's got to deal with it on their own. And the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists point this out when they said, hey, we really don't know if taking acetaminophen during pregnancy is dangerous. Now, that being said, that data with taking acetaminophen during pregnancy is very compelling. Okay, there's most likely something going on there. I wouldn't call that evidence overwhelming, but taking that, especially taking that drug during the third trimester, parents need to be informed that it appears to be a risk. If it's just one type of autism, say it's autism with hyperkinetic disorder, and it's a 50% increased risk, maybe that's only 10% of total cases of autism, parents still need to be informed. And some scientists are saying, well, that's just going to cause more anxiety in the parents. But look, it's not ethical just to say, go ahead and use the drug, don't worry about it, if we know that there's very likely some risk. And again, I don't think the evidence is completely overwhelming, but it's definitely very concerning. It's the opposite situation when you look at many, if not most, cases of autism. Those happen after, again, you cut that umbilical cord, because that baby's liver is just frequently, and we know what the risk factors are, frequently not up to the task of processing that drug. So this is sort of, if we're waiting on the outcome of these lawsuits, it's kind of like watching a train wreck happen in slow motion. It's like, no, this has nothing to do with these lawsuits. It's just really unrelated when you look at the scientific data versus the lawsuit. So the answer is no, don't wait and see what happens with the lawsuit, because that's really a separate issue. There's a lot of legal questions. I'm not a legal expert. That's something for a judge to decide, and it's not dealing with the vast majority of cases of autism, most certainly based on the science.